Shut up and sit down.
It's where the big boys play. SICW.
Welcome to Spread Reading Podcast, everybody. Episode 115.
Woo!
Well,
115.
Yeah, today we're coming off a reschedule. So we're throwing together a little normal podcast here talking about women.
Well, that's what
nice.
WWE wants to give us.
Yeah, that's a nice lead-in. Before we get to Raw, did you catch Saturday night's main event?
Did not.
You did not? Oh,
Did
man.
not. I was floating on a river all day and then sleeping in a hammock.
Oh, well. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Well, why would you enjoy life? Come on now.
Right.
One cerveza at a time.
All right, so the two takeaway matches from Saturday night's main event was, of course, the main event, Goldberg versus Gunther. It was actually, it wasn't a Goldberg match, so it was actually kind of decent. You had Gunther in there, and he actually wrestled, so he made Goldberg wrestle. Gunther took him down a lot, worked his legs, which a normal Goldberg match, he's not on the mat. It's 1 or 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes tops. Him all dominating, maybe getting a little getting whooped up on a little bit, but you never see him down on the mat. You never see him in a submission hold or anything like that. So Gunther, wrestled him, and so it was a pretty good match, and it wasn't bad for a retirement match. Just a one-off, match. Now he's done. There was a spot in there where Gunther was chopping him, and Goldberg just no-sold it and smiled back at him, which kind of popped everyone. But then Goldberg did get the spear, did do the jackhammer, but all that work on Goldberg's legs done by Gunther, he, instead of pinning him, rolled over and was grabbing hold of his knee, which kind of helped Gunther kick out when he eventually went to cover him. And then Gunther actually put him in a sleeper hold. And he had worked a sleeper hold a couple times in that match, but that's what finished it off. So Gunther put Goldberg to sleep. And I was kind of shocked, too, at the ref, because normally, the ref will come up and grab the hand and raise it, and he normally does it like 3 times. He only did it once. And, that one time.
It was a screw job.
Kind of, because I want to say WWE did him wrong in a bit, too. Because after, man, I can't talk tonight. After Gunther won, he got his belt, raised the belt, everything, and then it's all for Goldberg. So Gunther left. The announcer came into the ring with the microphone, went to talk to Goldberg, and handed him I think he asked him a question or something, and then handed him the mic, and then Goldberg went into thanking everyone, because he had like over 150 fans, family and friends, show up for this match, and he wanted to thank them all. And he went into this speech, and then WWE went off the air, totally cut his speech off, and everyone was saying that's their little last jab at him for being a WCW guy, that WWE gets the last hoorah and cut him off. And of course, you can go on their YouTube channel, which covers the after Raw segments and stuff, and see the whole speech, because he talks about how this was the first time he ever lost in Atlanta, and he apologized to everyone, but still, like I said, thanked them. Yeah, but I thought that was funny that that they cut him off in his farewell speech. It's one final last jab. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but like the internet exploded with that, saying, they got him. But
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah,
it has to be intentional. It's a great way for great marketing.
Well, I would say not only the intentional part, but then that's also going to drive people that want to see it to their YouTube page where they can monetize it.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you know, when they do when I say pay per view, they don't do pay per views no more. It's PLEs. But when they do a PLE and it's on Peacock, you know, they have all the amount of time in the world. When they do Raw on Netflix, they have all the amount of time in the world. But somehow they just went ahead and cut the feed, you know, during his speech. But so that was one of the best matches. The other match, which caused a lot of changes to Monday Night Raw, was the Seth Rollins versus LA Knight match. And that was actually a very quick match because I'm sure everyone's heard that Seth Rollins got hurt during that match. And, you know, we talked about it previously that WWE was making this year all about Seth Rollins. You know, he was the leader of this little group. He's pretty much in every single storyline when it talks about a world title, you know, chance. But he did a springboard. Shoot, what's it called when they Jeff Hardy's finishing move when he's on the top rope?
Swanton?
Swanton. He did a springboard swanton, and you can find it on YouTube because WWE slowed it down so everyone can see when he actually got hurt. Not during the show though. This was like yesterday and Sunday, but he landed and his right leg was cocked different, and you can see him like motion that his leg was hurt, but then he popped back up, jumped on the other side of the ropes, and did a back flip and landed on that leg just gave out after he landed. So he screwed it up a little bit and then just went ahead and said fuck it and fucked it up for good. So yeah, so he immediately rode to the corner. The ref came over and when you know it was bad, it was when LA Knight went over to try to finish the match and the ref pushed him back and you actually heard her or him. I can't remember. It was
Fast Signs. See the visual possibility in your business with signs and graphics.
Anyway,
I was trying to bring up his injury, but
you could hear the ref tell LA Knight to get back, and she immediately was doing that little remote that they carry in their pocket, trying to get people down there. But Seth Rollins called LA Knight over, and you can see him mumble something to LA Knight, and all of a sudden LA Knight picked him up for his finisher, and then counted to 3, and that was done. So the thing is, it was leaked that, of course, that's not how the match was supposed to end. It was supposed to be Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed coming down, screwing over LA Knight, having Seth Rollins win, and that was supposed to bring Roman Reigns down to knock out Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and to start a feud with Seth Rollins. Of course, Seth Rollins was hurt, and we now know that he's going to be out a few months for knee surgery. And so everyone was like speculating, okay, so maybe this is going to be the push of LA Knight, since he won the match. Since he won, they scrapped the whole Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Roman Reigns coming down. That happened on Monday. So everyone was like, is this going to be the final time that finally the time that they push LA Knight where everyone thinks he should be? I like LA Knight. I know he gets a lot of heat from a lot of the other wrestlers, saying that he kind of goes in for himself a lot. He was the one that got a lot of heat in the last Royal Rumble, and that was there was two wrestlers that was bitching about him because supposedly they were supposed to get him out or whatever, and he didn't go out in the time because he wanted to get his shit in. So it's one of those things. But did you watch the women's pay-per-view? No? Okay. So I did go through that, and it was actually some pretty good matches on there, and I actually do recommend watching their pay-per-view. I mean, their main event was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley.
That's the only match that I heard anything good about.
Well, Becky Lynch's match was actually pretty good. Let's see here. Who else? There was another star that came in. Oh, Tiffany Stratton versus Stratus. I forgot her first name already. It's bad. Trish.
How
that
could you
was
ever
actually
forget
pretty
a
good.
goddess like that?
Yeah, well, they had some good matches, but man, Rhea Ripley's match was freaking awesome. The moves that they did, and either one of them countered each other's moves, was great. The one thing that I didn't like is Naomi came out. She had the briefcase, the Money in Your Bank briefcase, so she cashed that in, made it a triple match towards the end, of course, and became the women's champion. I didn't care for it because I don't care for Naomi. Not that she's a bad wrestler or anything. I just think there's a lot of other ones are better. And she telegraphed hitting Io Sky with the briefcase because Io Sky put herself in the spot, but Naomi went to hit her and then stopped because the announcer didn't announce it as a triple threat yet. And so she backed off, and clearly in the video, she backs off of it and waits for her to say it, and then she hits her. Which in real time, Io Sky could have had plenty of time to move out of the way because the video clip shows her watching Naomi go and then pause, wait, and then go. So it really blundered that. But I just don't.
Yeah, she should just sit her and let the announcers cover it up.
Right. But I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like her as a. Not that I don't like her as a wrestler. I just think there's other people better. And she's married into the Usos, and you already know I don't really. I like Jey Uso, but I just don't like how they're pushing him to be. Well, they took the belt off of him, so that was a good thing in my eyes. But they pushed him to be the heavyweight champion, and I think it's all because of his out of the ring stuff. But then again, who am I? He was the number one seller again on his T-shirts and his stuff. So, evidently everyone's coming to see him. So why not push him and keep him in the main events and everything? But yeah, so yeah, he's putting butts in their seats. Oh, also, not to go back, but Saturday night's main event, it was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Jelly Roll was out there, and so was that podcaster guy.
Big Texan.
You talking about Pat McAfee?
No. He's actually a pretty good wrestler now, but he was the Pokemon guy, the podcast.
Oh, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. So Logan Paul was in Drew McIntyre's corner. Jelly Roll was in Randy Orton's corner. They, of course, had a little scuffle. Jelly Roll got the best of them. And then at the end, Randy Orton got an RKO out of nowhere and pinned Drew McIntyre. And then he came and was beating on Randy Orton. Of course, Jelly Roll slid in the ring and decked him really good. I mean, I think I don't think it was a pulled punch. I think a Jelly Roll just probably figured I'll hit you for real and apologize in the back because it looked really good. too good to be a pulled punch, if you know what I'm saying. And then Drew McIntyre kicked Jelly Roll and laid him out. So that's going to set up their match for SummerSlam. So it's going to be a tag match at SummerSlam. Jelly Roll and RKO versus Drew McIntyre and the other guy. But
What kind of training did Jelly Roll get before going in there?
so yesterday, actually, it was after the women's pay-per-view on Sunday. Triple H was being interviewed because they do that after the pay-per-view. I forgot what to call it, but where they have all the reporters sit down with them and ask questions of all the wrestlers that was on the pay-per-view. And they asked Triple H about Jelly Roll. And he said that Jelly Roll had, before he lost all his weight, when he was just coming in and singing and doing like a spot, that he always told Triple H that he wants to lose all this weight and then have an active role in a wrestling match. And Triple H said that he hears that from every celebrity that comes in, and he didn't think anything of it until Jelly Roll actually lost all of his weight. And he's still got a little bit to go, but he is really thinned down compared to what he used to weigh. And so he reached out to Triple H and said, I would like to train. So they actually took Jelly Roll down to Florida to the NXT or to their, I can't think of the name of the building.
Performance Center.
Yeah. And actually had him train for, I think they said 6 weeks. So really not a long period of time, but probably for what they're going to use him for. That's
Enough to learn how to take a fall and sell and all that, so he doesn't get hurt.
Right. So
He's given a good choke slam in the past.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
see. There's still time before SummerSlam rolls around, so he can still be doing more training. You don't know, but I do know, he's lost a lot of his weight is he started doing marathons, where first, it was people that ran, but he walked them, and then he was able to jog them, and now he's able to fast-paced jog these marathons. So he's doing it the right way. And of course, he's a celebrity, so I'm sure there's something else that he's doing.
Private chefs and cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Anyway, so that
that's kind
leads
of
us
one
to
job.
Monday Night Raw. And I think Monday Night Raw was actually just a continuation from the women's pay-per-view from Sunday. Because Bobby, go ahead. Let me take a breather.
So overall, I must say it was a bad show. Started out with
Everybody else gives it a B+. Why did you not like it, aside from it being all late?
Well, I'll give you my breakdown here. Started with Naomi. She did an interview. Kind of like Jim said, like she's a good wrestler, but for me, it's this gimmick's not working for her. Like she smiled the entire time, like she was never that serious, mean, kind of snarky persona she's trying to play. Like just not coming across right. So Rhea Ripley came down. Oh, that was the other part that just didn't make sense to this whole thing to me. Naomi tells both of them, you guys get in the back of the line, I beat you, no rematches, yada, yada. Adam Pearce comes out, says it's going to be a triple threat at SummerSlam, and Naomi looks happy about it. It's like, you just said that they're not getting a rematch or getting to the back of the line, but then once he says it, you start smiling like you wanted this.
Yeah.
Like, he's just very, very inconsistent, like all around.
Yeah, so Nate, she went from like this, she had a gimmick as like a glow girl. Like her outfits would be glow in the dark, blue light they would, throw at her, and her shoes, her singlets, all of her items would be glowing. But now she's coming out in this like caution tape.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked weird to me.
Yeah, so now she's trying to be a heel. But
I'd say I don't mind the gear, like it's take caution, I'm dangerous, whatever. But like, I don't. It's just, and her her wrestling's not bad. Just she's very inconsistent as a bad guy.
Okay, but with her
But we've-
attitude, does she have a dangerous attitude, Bobby, that goes along with her outfit?
She does try to do the little bit of snap every once in a while and go a little more cat fight on you. But as we've stated in the past, though, like so many of the heels nowadays are not heels anymore.
Yeah.
And that's probably where a lot of this is getting lost in translation. But the whole thing about, no, I'm not giving you a rematch, and then happy about giving them a rematch did not make any sense.
Well, you know how girls change their mind.
What's that?
So you know how women change their mind all the time.
That's true. Probably heard the wind blow, and so, she's like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So then after that, you had Kabuki Warriors, Sane and Asuka, ever beautiful Sane, versus Roxanne and Raquel from Judgment Day. This is where I did break away for a minute because Landon was wrestling at Fargo. Quick update on that. During Raw, he went 2-0 that night, and then on Tuesday he went 1-2. So he did finish with a 3-2 record, but he is done with freestyle. He'll start up again Greco on Friday, though. So then when I came back,
Well, did he place anything?
no, he doesn't place with that.
Okay.
He started with 114 kids in his bracket, though, and he made it down to the 32.
Pretty damn good.
Well,
Yeah,
that thing I saw that you put on your social media, he was ranked 18th.
Yeah, that's what they ranked him going into the tournament.
That's pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, this is his first year. He's been to the high school nationals, and to have a winning record and be ranked and all that, like, I was proud of him. He had a good showing. But then I think he's even better at Greco, so we'll see what he busts out Friday.
Nice.
Greco's the one where there's no legs. It's all throwing people.
Oh, okay. Got that power going.
He just really knows how to feel the weight out and hit it.
Sweet.
So then when I came back, Bailey versus Lyra Valkyrie, 2 out of 3 falls. Not really sure what I missed in between there, if I missed much of anything at all.
Everywhere that I saw said that was the least favorite match. It got a C minor.
I hated this match too.
In the women's tag team championships, the tag team champions kept their belts, and it was
that was in my notes too.
Yeah, so they had Dominic Mysterio out there on their side, and he did a little jumping up on the ring, interfering, so Raquel can come in and hit the person that was actually pinning the other girl. Was her name Roxanne? The one that's So and that was able to reverse the pin, and then they kept the championships.
So they had him help out his new girlfriend?
Yes.
So Bailey got the first fall. Valkyrie got second pin with a very slow botched pin, I have noted. That was just sloppy, bad, terrible.
So what did she do that botched it? How was it slow and how was it botched?
I believe that was the one where she actually literally looked like she was going at a walking speed to kind of reverse and roll her up. Twisted the wrong way, let go of it completely, and then walked around her and did it again.
Went back to the well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more speed in the geriatric facility.
Yeah, I noted here, like, they had a decent story that was told. The two just don't seem to have chemistry together. Like, they've wrestled each other a few times, and I just never enjoy it. Lyra got the third one. Becky Lynch came out after the match, and I put in her full Hulk Hogan gear. She's in all that red and yellow.
Yeah.
Did not hear her say brother, though. Just got to throw that out there.
Damn it.
Missed that one. Karrion Kross video package and Sami Zayn. Not Karrion Kross's best talking, I don't think, compared to what he's been doing. But at least they're finally giving some airtime, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Right.
because I'm always entertained by him.
Yeah.
Do you
Nikki
think
Bella
he's
versus
better than? Do you think he's better than Jey Uso? You think they should
Hawkins,
push
hands down.
Cross better?
Yeah.
Terry
So
Cross usually does this like really slow, maniacal, almost cultish. That's where the nickname Killer Cross comes from, and they
he
have not
almost,
let him unleash it on WWE's TV yet.
it's almost like Heath Ledger's Joker. You know, the way that he talked in
Yeah.
riddles and rhymes and stuff, just turned up with a little bit more heelish tones. You know, and it's good. I can't wait for them to just open the door and let him do his thing.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably giving him a lot of like a governor on him right now, and they
Mhm.
need to just release him. Like, let him just go loose, do his thing.
Yep, definitely.
Then you had Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. But a little funny. Chelsea Green had a submission on the knee, and Nikki's back pulling the hair and that's what it was. Yeah, so Chelsea Green's got her knee in the back, grabbing her hair and then ripping her back, but yet the ref's not counting like it's pulling the hair. He just let it go as a submission hold.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the hell was that?
And she actually went back to that too. So she released the hair, did something else, and come back to the hair, and still the ref didn't count. To me, this match, it was like oil and vinegar. It was like another very slow match, where they were kind of walking through their match, but it
Yeah.
still wasn't clicking.
And then Nikki smiling throughout most of the damn match. Like, you could tell she just had a lot of ring rust.
No,
I've
yeah.
never been a fan of hers to begin with. Like, to me, Brie Bella was always the better one, and Nikki's only there because she's a twin and John Cena's girlfriend at the time.
True. I felt the same way about the match. Chelsea Green, I think she's probably the better athlete, and the moves that they were trying to do to each other, even the finish, it looked like Bella was picking up Chelsea Green, and Chelsea knew it was the wrong way, so
Got down.
she got down and got in the position for Nikki to put her in the right position to do the move. So it really didn't look good.
Yeah,
You have to match
people may
that.
not like me saying this, but I don't think we would know who Nikki Bella was if there wasn't a Brie Bella. Because I don't think she ever makes any claim to fame on her own.
Mm.
I mean, maybe as an OnlyFans person, but
Well, they do
not
have
saying she has to.
one of the top podcasts, but their podcast is all over the place. It's not like strictly wrestling or anything like that. They talk about everything, so it's weird.
Because of Brie.
Yeah,
It,
pretty much.
it's famous for the Brie.
Yeah.
I state my case.
I think somebody's got a crush on Brie.
Oh, Brie's hot and she's a good wrestler. And she didn't even have to get the enhancements.
Yeah, she can pin you, eh, Bobby?
What's that?
She can pin you, eh?
Hell yeah. Corny promos after that set up the tag match between the New Day next week. Possible setup AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam for Intercontinental title. It was just everything was cheesy about it. Like I don't even remember the New Day one, but the AJ Styles and Dominic one keeps coming to my mind where, oh, I heard that you're fine, you are medically cleared, and then you got AJ Styles praying in the background, please be good, please be good, please be good. It's like, come on, guys. It was just cheesy all around. Rusev interview, Sheamus interrupts. They announced the rematch. Wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just there.
The thing about that is we've seen this match many of times, and it's always a good match, but sometimes if you have the same match repeatedly, even though if it's good, because they're brawlers, okay, so you have the same match with those two, but if you see it more than a handful of times, you've seen every fucking match, and that's almost how it's going to be
It
turned out.
becomes redundant. Comes
Right.
redundant and boring.
Yes.
Next, you had the Gunther promo in ring. Braun Breaker interrupts. This personally got me excited because, as you said, with Seth Rollins being like, so back up a little bit. I didn't like him joining the group because I thought Braun Breaker deserves a bigger push, and so I thought him joining the group, he's just going to fall behind Seth Rollins and go back to mid card. So him coming out, interrupting, and getting this time, like I was excited for that because, like, all right, Braun Breaker's going to get the push again.
Exactly how I felt too. So it was a gauntlet match. So two
Yep.
people started it out, and whoever pinned the other person, that person continues on. And
And it was random draw.
4 people you had to go through, I think.
Yeah, 4 plus
yeah.
you.
And so at the end, you were now
Like I
the
said,
number 1 contender for the title shot with Gunther. So go ahead, Bobby.
yeah. So then you got Breaker and Penta started. Had the spear of the night.
Yeah.
You had Penta do a springboard and like turn in, and he just got nailed midair. Like it was nice.
Yes.
Those two had decent enough chemistry together. LA Knight versus Breaker was next. I think that one was a spear too. I think he used a spear every time. Just
Yeah.
wasn't as good as the Penta one.
Yeah.
And then you had Breaker versus Jey Uso. Breaker's spear was clearly tired. I noted on this one. You could tell he's getting gas at this point. The total time he went, what? It said like 35, 40 minutes.
So he went. The only time they called the time was during the last part of the match, and they said like 35 minutes. But then you still had the rest of the match, so he probably went about 45.
Yeah.
If
And so,
not
but
more.
you could definitely see he was getting tired. And that was after Bronson Reed came out and helped him because I guess no DQ.
Right.
Then you had after that you had Breaker versus Punk. Reed interfered again. Jey Uso came back out and took Reed out. I thought for sure going through all this and how they were building it up, that Breaker was going to win this. Like it was, I thought writing was on the wall. It was too obvious, but they swerved me. Punk won. Again, it surprised me. Really seemed to be pumping Breaker up and then just hold it. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Maybe Punk will lose the SummerSlam, huh?
Maybe.
You
And
never
then
know.
Reed attacks Punk after Uso save him. Breaker spears Uso. Breaker spears Punk. Stack them up for a double tsunami, and Roman Reigns cleans house.
Yeah.
And then I also put in my notes, in that match, we saw spears from 3 different people. Is this going to be the new super kick? In that one match, we saw 3 different people doing spears.
Yes.
Well,
So
are you guys going to be doing spears this Saturday?
I've done a spear in the past, but I thought it was starting to get overdone once I saw Curtis Wilde doing it, so I stopped.
so let me break
Come
down
on, let's get wild. Say it, Bobby.
no no man, there was some other match that happened over this weekend. Oh well, but so I'm going to break this down for my perspective on Braun Breaker. So last week I talked about the same thing, about how I felt Braun Breaker had more to give, and being Seth Rollins' lackey was going to hurt him, and I was kind of hoping that he would break out of the group. But
my best hope was that we're going to have a repeat and he was going to be the Randy Orton of Evolution.
Yeah.
That was my biggest hope for it.
So sometimes the best things that can happen to your wrestling career is someone at the top getting hurt. And I think this helped Braun Breaker out so much because
100%.
they had to build him up, and they did a great job because LA Knight is a top guy. Jey Uso, of course, just lost his heavyweight championship, so he's still considered a top guy. And then you had who was the Mexican? Penta. Penta is like a fan favorite right now. Ever since he debuted in the WWE, he shot straight to the top, started working all the top talent, and is considered top talent. You know, he's still within his 1 year of being with the company, and he is climbing the ladder on the sales. Like I said, Jey Uso is still number one, but with Penta and all of his masks and his figures and his outfit changes, you know, every outfit change, well, that's a new figure, you know, so he is climbing everything, and it's just a matter of time before he gets a title shot. But sometimes you don't need a title to be the top guy. And he is right in that like atmosphere of being a top guy with not even needing a title. But then you had Braun Breaker go against CM Punk, who is hands down always going to be a top guy for any belt there is. So you had Braun Breaker work the top guys on Raw, and you had him defeat three of them, actually four of them, right? Penta, LA Knight. Oh, so just three. He beat three of them, and Jey Uso.
Yeah,
Uh,
and a
and
gauntlet all in one.
and then he went toe to toe with Punk. I think, you know, that pushed him to another level, showed that he can work with these guys, showed that he can do a 45-minute match. Now, of course, at the end there, you can tell that he was a little blown, but it still proved the point that he is someone who can be a top tier guy and can go. And they even spoke about that when it got down to Breaker and CM Punk, because they said that the announcers even said that you can tell that Breaker's slowing down a little bit, and that CM Punk is a guy who can go all the time. And it was a great gauntlet match to build up Breaker, and it actually built up Bronson Reed as well, because they showed that he can be, not that he had a big match or anything last night, but they had him interfering in the big match, and had him doing his moves on the main guys. So it still kind of built him up as well, but not as much as Breaker. But I still think, and you know, it kind of pushed LA Knight a little bit to the side, because everyone thought with Seth Rollins being injured and LA Knight winning that match on Saturday that they were just going to throw LA Knight into that spot. Well, now it kind of showed that Breaker is kind of going to be in that spot. And with Roman Reigns coming out to interfere, he didn't interfere, it was after the match. But for him to come out and beat up on Breaker and beat up on Bronson Reed, kind of shows that those are the guys that he has to beat up. You know, because he shook Jey Uso's hand and hugged him. He kind of halfway, motioned to Punk that they were good. He didn't come out and shake his hand, but he didn't fight him or push him off or anything like that. But it kind of shows that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are going to be the main heels now, and that's who Roman Reigns has got to go after. So I think it set those guys up. So hands down, this was the best part of Raw, and it was a good build up for those two guys.
Now, something you said in there that made me think of another criticism of the Nikki Bella match was the announcers even said that she is a veteran and these younger girls have studied her. She's going to have to bust out something new that they haven't seen before. She didn't bust out a single new thing.
Yeah, well, that finisher that she used
couldn't even perform on the things she knew, from what you were saying.
So,
no, she didn't very well.
Yeah, it was a very slow-paced match. Like I said, it more or less felt like they walked through their match. That's how slow of a pace it was. And I don't think it's Green's fault at all, because hands down, Randy Orton and his dad are known for the people that can sell their asses off and make their opponent look great. That Green is the same way for the women's division. She will sell her ass off and make the other person look great. But in this match,
she could perform too. Like, look up her versus Penta.
Oh yeah, she can. But I'm just saying that as of right now, they're not letting Chelsea Green wrestle a guy, so right now I think she's getting over by making everyone else look great, but she couldn't make Nikki Bella look great. Because like I said, Nikki Bella's finisher last night was a new finisher, but she forgot how to get in the finisher. Chelsea Green had to take her out of a hold and put herself back in the hold the correct way so Nikki Bella can do the finisher, which just
If
made
you're
her
known
look like
for
shit.
getting somebody to go over and not being able to do it, maybe you should kind of not be in the ring. Not for a while.
See, now I thought she was just going for her old finisher, the rack attack, and just kind of messed that up too.
Yeah, so they called it something else last night, but it's and they had the rack attack part in there, and they called it a new version and named it something rack attack.
Okay,
But
the
yeah, it was
double-sided
clearly,
version, I guess, because she had to go on both sides. But I was
but
doing a
yeah,
comparison between Penta, Jey Uso, and LA Knight's merch. How does Jey Uso merch keep selling so much? It's very basic. Penta's
Because
is
he's
a
got a
premium
very catchy
concept.
entrance that has all the kids loving it. My youngest son runs in and says yeet all the time. That's why. Because WWE figured that out years ago. That's the whole reason they went PG, is you sell to the kids and the parents will spend.
Gee, I wonder who said that to somebody else here the past 6 months, but didn't take it.
well, I think we all have been telling everyone, even our friends that we've had on the podcast. Evan has been a big. I mean, he said it last weekend on his Facebook too, that because he pulled the numbers for some other pay-per-view that's coming to town, and same thing. It's just outrageous. When at our wrestling show Saturday, I was talking to some of the fans, and they were talking about how they like coming to our shows because it's not an arm and a leg, and I agreed with them, and they said that they used to be able to sit on the floor for $100 and get the chair and everything, and I said, I did the same thing, growing up, I
Yeah,
always
but
sat at the floor because
yeah,
it
we're
was
talking
always
about selling to the kids, though. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's talking more like merch and all that.
That's bringing in, better marketing. It's bringing in younger wrestlers. It's directing not the whole show, but at least undercards.
Well, it's just exactly what Bobby said. You sell your stuff to the kids, and it makes the parents buy. So the parent wants to please the kids and take them to Raw or take them to the pay-per-view, and spend that money to make the kids happy. So I mean,
It's a reason why a big part of WWE's money comes from things like toys, or like why we make garbage pail kid cards. Like you
Because
sell
we're Toys R Us
to the
kids,
kids.
Bobby. We already established that. We're never growing up here.
and that's true, but I don't spend hundreds of dollars to go see Raw. I didn't spend hundreds of dollars to go see the pay-per-view when they came to town. I
You
will
didn't go to
buy an
Australia
action
and
figure
spend
though.
15 grand to go watch down there
Yeah, I
in
won't take
October. You're
the
not going to go
loan.
down?
Yeah, I won't remortgage my house to go see a WrestleMania. I'm fine with sitting at my house, being able to go to the bathroom when I want, get a drink when I want, and just hit pause and keep going afterwards.
You don't want a 30-minute line to your bathroom
No,
and
sure don't.
$30 snacks, $30 snacks, $20 soda.
$20 hot dog, but all you get is the hot dog and the bun. You have to pay extra for the other stuff.
Nope, I sure don't. But yeah,
You joke about that, but I remember at a Cardinals game, I love the pulled pork nachos. And if you go to the one on the bottom floor, you get sour cream and like all the toppings for free. But if you go to any of the other ones with the pulled pork nachos, you got to pay extra for sour cream.
Yeah, I wasn't being facetious because the Giants, I'd have to do that all the time. You'd have to pay extra to get other stuff.
I
To
say
get more than
I
just thing.
I say that one's an actual personal experience. Every time I go to a Cardinals game, I get them pulled pork nachos.
I do want to say that even a Cardinals game, because I just took the wife maybe a month or half ago, uh, it is still very affordable. You
Yeah.
can still get seats. And you can still get, we went on a day that they gave us jerseys or pullover coats, and we got those pulled pork nachos, and we each got a soda, and we each got something, and it was still very reasonable, and probably I spent less than a ticket to a WWE event for two people. So yeah.
Well, then, like, if you wanted to make it even cheaper, I've done this with my kids before too. Cardinals will actually let you bring in bottled water if it's sealed, and you can pre-cook your own hot dogs, wrap them in foil, and bring them in.
I did not know that.
I've done both.
That's awesome.
Nothing wrong
Then
with
you
that.
just then you just go to their condiment stands. You don't even have to bring none of that.
Walk in, hey, I'll give you $1 for a bun.
I'm trying to pull this
Extra
George
50 cents
Triggus
if you
back
talk.
up. All right, there it is, the working schedule. All right, so that's WWE. AEW did have a pay-per-view All In Texas over the weekend as well, and we talked about WWE doing Saturday night's main event, doing the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, was trying to take away from AEW, but AEW sold out over the weekend. Of
I
course,
only
every
saw
year this is their biggest pay-per-view.
their
But
biggest pay-per-view, and I only saw one highlight, and it wasn't even really wrestling.
what highlight did you see?
Tony Storm making out with Monet.
Yeah,
Well, and also making out with her other lips too.
yeah. Very crazy. I'm surprised and shocked that they allowed that. But it's pay-per-view. People bought the pay-per-view, so
Well, I mean, you also got to think like AEW. We've said it many times. They can't tell a story, so they got to go for the shock.
yeah.
And they got the shock with that one.
But so a couple cool things. Oh, I wouldn't say cool, but a couple things to note on it. They have Christian there, they have Edge there, and of course in WWE they were a tag team for the longest time. Very cool. They used to do this like 3-second pose or 5-second pose, and it would pop to people where they would pose and stand still for people's photographic, spots. But either way,
That was when people your age had like the old cameras, right?
oh,
The videotape. Well, and going back to the head-to-head, they moved AEW's up, and then WWE brought in NXT to still go head-to-head with them. So even when they moved the time slots, WWE added stuff to just compete directly
yeah,
and to
try
take
to
view.
Well, I think I said this before on here that it was Zuffa at the time, but the owners of TKO, they were very ruthless in buying out every single MMA promotion they could that was any kind of competition to UFC. Like they are like Vince McMahon in his younger days. They will do everything they can to shut them down.
Yeah, and UFC is suffering for it now because the competition and the bringing more better fighters. You're having to bring in younger and younger fighters from other countries that still have a farm system.
Well, they even talked about it over the weekend. It popped up again that TKO or whatever the parent company is still thinking about buying TNA Wrestling. And there was even a dollar figure that they even broadcasted. I can't remember if it was 10 million or something like that, but and people were going crazy saying, "Oh my God, that's so cheap, especially for TNA's library," because their library of all the AJ Styles matches, and they had Kurt Angle and Hogan and Scott Steiner and Sting. I mean, that library alone is going to
Jeff
be worth
Jarrett.
millions.
Yeah, that'll be 10 million on its own.
Yeah. And so anyway, AEW.
Yet all the things I'm reading say that it backs Bobby, that it was barely worthwhile.
Well, I mean, it could have been. I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I watched Evolution, so WWE pulled me in, and I was watching that and Saturday Night's Main Event, and I didn't see the NXT though. But just some highlights that I seen. Christian Cage was getting beat down by his own team, and Edge came out and beat up those guys. Didn't bro hug Christian or anything like that. He just told him that he needs to rethink his life. So I'm hoping, and I think this will help AEW out if they tag team those guys again, Edge and Christian, because when they brought Edge in originally, everyone was talking about how they're going to tag finally in AEW and carry on what they did in WWE, but they kept them separated and they actually had them work against each other. So I think this is a way that they are actually going to switch that around now and have them work as a tag team and actually, do something for the tag team division in AEW. And then the other takeaway that I would say, Moxley had a match with Hangman Page, and they've been fighting each other for months now, and everyone's been dogging the storylines that they're trying to tell. But they had what was the name of the match that they had? Man, I just had the match with Attila a couple years ago. Death match. Was it called a death match? It wasn't called a death match.
Was it? I thought it was called like a Texas death match or
Yeah,
something.
Texas death match is what they called it. I don't know why it brain fogged me, but yeah. So they actually had it, and I'm not a Hangman Page fan at all. He's, I don't know. For a side note, he's Luke Perry's son from 90210. So is it him or is it Jungle Boy? Maybe it's Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy is Perry's son.
But I'm not a fan of Page. But evidently they had a really good match, and now he is their new AEW champion. And that sparked rumors that Moxley, because his contract is due up here in the next couple months, so since he dropped the belt, that immediately buzzed the internet saying that Moxley is leaving the company and coming back home to WWE. Again, those are just rumors. Moxley, they talked about how, it's a new era because they're under Triple H and not Vince McMahon, and he really had problems with Vince McMahon. No, he had problems with Triple H too. So just because Triple H is running things now doesn't mean all is forgiven and Moxley wants to come home. His wife done moved from WWE to AEW, so even if his contract expires, doesn't mean he's going, because his wife is still in AEW and she's a big part of AEW.
Well, and I don't think Moxley's done himself any favors. Like everything he's done, unless they want to bring a hardcore division back, nothing he has done over there screams like good wrestling matches.
Right. It's
He's done some really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Really crazy stuff. But nothing's like, if he wanted to go to New Japan for a while again, I could see that.
Yeah, that would work. Before we go to the main topic, because we got a special cool weekend coming up, I do want to touch base with the SICW. So we had a show in Collinsville Saturday, and it was a pretty decent show. And I had I tagged with Sean Vincent versus
Yeah.
the Cowboys. What do they go by? The Whiskey Benders. It's a new tag team that's been showing up here lately, and me and Sean
The
Vincent.
Whiskey Banders.
Yeah, Whiskey Benders. Um, we've tagged in the past, but nothing like a tag team should. But we had a great night. The fans were behind us. And since the Whiskey Benders is a new tag team, they didn't realize the rules that we have about so you can't throw your opponent over the top rope. Otherwise, it's automatic disqualification. And I had the taller Whiskey Bender outside doing our thing, and his name is Joey. He threw Sean Vincent over the top rope, which disqualified the team, which made me and Sean Vincent the victors. But our champion wasn't there that night. Our champion was sunbathing in a river, and
I am getting a good tan though.
yeah, and then sleeping in a hammock. But
It was
so the
a
main
peaceful,
event,
peaceful night. A
the
little
main
bit of rain
event,
drizzling down on my canopy. Good night.
the main event that night was Curtis Wilde versus Glenn Williams for the Central States title. Now we all know that Glenn Williams got hurt at a different show last month, and it was a legitimate. He was hurt. He had pulled a muscle in his upper leg, kind of groin area, and he was in the
That video
middle
said
of
that
his.
they thought his balls were just too big.
And that's what he claims, and he did a promo about how they had to shrink his balls because they were just too big. We all know the truth. He literally
And got
pulled
them botulism injections, huh?
right. So I
I
was
guess they
kind of
slipped and
curious.
hit his pecker too then, huh?
It was more like that little guy from Major League. You got no marbles.
No mom. I remember he would hang his arms down. So I too was wondering how this match was going to work, and so what it was is Glenn came out in a wheelchair, being pushed to the ring. Of course, Curtis Wilde was already in the ring, and so they came out with this thing that he couldn't wrestle, but he was going to let another wrestler wrestle for him. And if that wrestler lost, he would lose the Central States Championship to Curtis Wilde. And Curtis agreed. But that person was Attila Khan. So Glenn had Attila Khan come down and be his proxy. And of course, Attila match is totally different than what Curtis is used to. And it showed because Curtis tries to be a wrestler, and Attila Khan is just a brawler who stabs people with a fork. And so it went the way of Attila Khan. Of course, mid-match, Glenn Williams did stand up out of the wheelchair and interfere in the match.
A miracle.
Yeah, it was a total miracle. But so Glenn retained his championship by Attila Khan being the victor of the match that night. But it was a very good show. We're back in Collinsville, and we had it was an influx of new fans, so it was kind of cool. Go ahead, Bobby. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I thought it wasn't getting announced till TV for a couple weeks, but Herb has posted it. Another thing that came from that show that night, we are going on August 2nd to get a female strap match between Lilith and Miss Hyde.
Yeah, so they had a match that night, and it was a very good back and forth, and they were chopping the shit out of each other. But I don't think it ended how anyone wanted it to. So now there's going to be a strap match. Now, I think this is the first women's strap match that's going to be taking place. I don't think we've ever had one. But it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be for, to show who is the most dominant woman in SIC.
Lilith is like 2 feet taller than Miss Hyde.
Right. But Miss Hyde has got years of experience over Lilith, And sometimes it doesn't matter how tall the giant is. Just like Bobby versus Kowalski. Sometimes it's not the how big the giant is, it's how fast the little guy can move around and slow that giant down and then eventually knock him down and take the pin.
Once they're laying on their back, they're all the same height.
That is correct. But yeah, so what would you say? That's August the 2nd. We're back in
Yep.
Collinsville for that show. Of course, the TV tapings will be the 3rd, which is that Sunday, and you get in free with your ticket stub from Saturday's show. And of course, there's going to be some more matches announced, but that is going to be the main event for that show. But that comes to this weekend.
Greetings. I just wanted to shout out the Dan Gable Museum's Tragos and Thesz Hall of Fame. What they do to honor the incredible people in professional wrestling and amateur wrestling who have been pioneers, who have paved the way for so many of us. Really, really incredible. I had a chance to be in Waterloo in 2016, and I had such an amazing time. I'm such a huge supporter of everyone behind the museum, the work that is being done. So once again, I wanted to salute everyone who's going to be there in Waterloo for this incredible event. Make sure you don't miss out if you're anywhere near the Waterloo area, and fly in if you got the free time too. But I wanted to say salute to all of you, and once again to all of the Hall of Fame inductees and the award winners. Salute to you as well.
This weekend, hands down, my favorite wrestler besides Bruiser Brody, besides the Hulk Hogan, kid of me being a kid, Hulk Hogan, Lou Thesz has always been my big thing to read about. I love reading everything up on Lou Thesz. It pisses me off that I didn't get involved in the wrestling because before Lou Thesz died, because Lou Thesz is a St. Louis native. He lived in St. Louis. He wrestled in East St. Louis many a times. And I didn't get into wrestling until after Lou Thesz.
He wrestled at the fairgrounds.
Yes, he wrestled at the Belleville Fairgrounds. And he was, he even did a special referee versus, I think it was Bruiser Brody. And, it was another mainstay for SICW and MMWA. I can't think of his name. His name will pop into my head, though. But Lou Thesz was the special referee for that match. But like I said, I didn't get personally involved in the wrestling until after Lou Thesz had passed away. And I wish I would have been able to meet him. Hands down, the three people that I wish I would have met, Roddy Piper, Lou Thesz, and Bruiser Brody. Those would be the three guys that I would, if I could go back in time, I would try to meet personally. But I've read Lou Thesz's book, The Hooker, many a times, more times than I can remember. And the great thing about his book is he rewrote that book so many times because you know how when you write a book, you remember the stories your way. However, he gave his book to many of the wrestlers that he wrestled, and they would tell their side of that story, and it would trigger a memory in him because he wrote this book later in life. So it would re-trigger that memory, and so he would put that memory back in the book with both versions. So, like every copy of his book could be a totally different copy of his book, so I've even seen the manuscript for that book. Larry Matisek had the actual manuscript before it actually got published, which is now in the hands of Herb Simmons. But hands down, Lou Thesz is one that I would love to have met. But he has a Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa. Of course, it's tagged with George Tragus, who was a great professional wrestler too, but also an amateur wrestler as well. And so they got the George Tragus, Lou Thesz Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame out there, and it's at the Dan Gable Museum as well. So it's got everything with wrestling. So everything Bobby teaches, everything that Landon has learned. Kurt Angle is wrestled there. Brock Lesnar is featured there. with their amateur stuff being in the Hall of Fame. But it's also the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame as well. So the who's who of the pro wrestlers are in this Hall of Fame. What I love about this Hall of Fame, it's an actual brick and mortar. WWE has their Hall of Fame somewhere in the sky. Because they don't have a building, they don't have any representation of a Hall of Fame. You do get to go to that WrestleMania little show the week of WrestleMania that they'll have, like, outfits of former wrestlers, but they don't have a brick and mortar that you can go to. This place does. And I've shown videos of this before. They have Harley Race's boots. They got Lou Thesz's championship that he carried for the NWA. They have a miniature wrestling ring in the building. All their plaques are on the walls. It's a nice building. Half of it's divided into the amateur wrestling, half of it's the pro wrestling. But this starts this Thursday. It actually starts at 5 o'clock. I kind of want to give you a little bit of a rundown. We'll start off with Thursday. Let's see here. So Thursday at 5 p.m., the Dan Gable Museum opens to everyone who has the all access pass. And at 5:30, the kickoff social starts. Now, this social is everyone who's bought tickets to go there this weekend gets to hang out with everyone. So all the legends that are being honored this weekend will be there. All the wrestlers, they're just there because they want to see their friends being inducted. Will be there. Last year Sergeant Slaughter was not being honored, but Sergeant Slaughter stopped in because he was honored in the past, but he had some friends going in last year, so he just stopped in. So you don't know really who's going to be there. So that starts at 5:30, and those guys who have the all access pass, you get to rub shoulders with them. They get free. They have free beer, free sodas, free pizzas. So you get to socialize with everyone in there. Plus, you can walk around the Hall of Fame. Plus, there's people there selling like books. Authors will be there selling their wrestling books. People will be there selling the wrestling figurines or action figures, like what I like to call them. Everything you can think of wrestling memorabilia will be there, because they also do a silent auction there. And last year I was trying to win our friend of our YouTube channel, and his name is blocking me, but he was the ref for the Iron Claw movie.
You're talking about James Beard?
James Beard, thank God. So James Beard had an autographed referee shirt. Also, one of the NWA heavyweight champions had his trunks, and it was like a bundle. And I tried to win that, and I was so close. But I had went to another thing that they were having in another building, and so I left the silent auction, and someone went in and bid more than me. But I did come away with about 20 wrestling books. One of them dated back until like the 1940s. And it was more of an amateur wrestling book, but it had a lot of pro wrestling involved in it. But they were teaching, it was like a teacher's guide. And that's why I picked it up and wanted that one, because it was a pro wrestling book, but they are teaching you how to pro wrestle by teaching you how to do the amateur wrestling. So it was very cool. Like I said, a bunch of stuff to do. But so that's Friday. That's Thursday. Friday morning kicks off. It's a 9 a.m. There's a roundtable discussion. So that's going to be in their big room where they have certain legends come in and they just discuss their past, their road stories. They haven't announced who's actually going to be in the roundtable yet. But then the history of Tennessee wrestling is going to be talked about at 10 a.m. At 11 a.m., charting the territories is going to be talked about, which I have one of the books. I have the Midwest Territory book, and my God, it's awesome. It's like what Larry Matisek did for Wrestling at the Chase. This guy did for the whole Midwest. So he talks about Harley Race's group. He does talk about Wrestling at the Chase and Sam Mushnick's group. But it's like, again, who wrestled who, where, how did they win? It's very cool. So he's actually, that author is going to do an hour's worth of talking about the territories. And then let's see, John Layfield, JBL, he's going to do one at noon. So he's going to be talking about wrestling's greatest drawing cards, meaning who brought in the most money. And then there's going to be the Legends autograph signings. So all the Legends are going to be there for you to get your autographs and then buy whatever merch they're selling. And then what's really cool is at 5 o'clock Friday night starts the Hall of Fame cocktail hour, which is basically right before the dinner. And it's a fancy dinner, steak, shrimp, nice, great dinner. But that's the cocktail hour. So they'll have a bar that you can go there and get your beer or your mixed drinks and socialize before the Hall of Fame starts. But then, that starts at 6 o'clock, the Hall of Fame. Goes all night, and then normally every night. So even Thursday night, after everything's said and done, everyone stays at the same hotel. We go to the same bar. As a matter of fact, Thursday I didn't say it because they don't have it on here, but Thursday night they do a wrestling trivia. So Friday night everyone will go back to the bar and hang out, socialize. And then comes Saturday. So Saturday they added some cool things besides adding SICW. So Saturday they're going to talk about wrestlers and referees. They're going to talk about, they're going to have the cribbage tournament. They're going to have the Legends of the Wrestling game tournament, which is kind of cool because I think me and Bobby actually applied last year at the CACs to be part of that game. So it'll be interesting to see.
Is Cowboy Bob going to be there? Because if he is, nobody's going to win cribbage but him.
He is going to be there, and I think he won it last year as well. Matter of fact, I know he won it last year. So that's going to – so what they added let's see here. There's also at a separate time from 11 to 2, they're going to have more podcasts. A couple of podcasts like us will show up, and those like last year there was a podcast that talked about how to get your podcast over, and then Gerald Briscoe's podcast was live, and then there was another wrestler's podcast that was live, and his name's throwing me for a loop. He was CM Punk's best friend for the longest time until they blew up.
Something Steel, or
no?
Were you talking about
He's still really good friends with Ace Steel. Colt Cabana. He did his podcast there. So that's going on at the same time. But at 3 o'clock, this is what I'm interested in. Eric Bischoff is going to relive the Bash at the Beach. And this is what actually started WCW turning that tide and beating WWF at the time, or WWE at the time. So he's going to talk about how and what it took to start whooping WWE's butt in the ratings and winning the Monday Night War. But then 5:30, the doors open for their fan fest. So all the legends will be all around this building. You can go get autographs and pictures and get the merchandise and get ready for the wrestling show, which of course is SICW. So we're going to have a great wrestling show. They've already announced I'm going to have a match. I know Attila's got a match. I heard rumors that JBL is going to actually wrestle. Gerald Briscoe's son normally wrestles that night as well.
I don't know my opponent. Maybe I got JBL.
You could.
No, you could. You're not listed anywhere. It's a surprise match. Maybe you're the. Well, what about the cage? Did we talked about that last time?
We're not doing the cage this year because they want. They haven't announced it yet, so they probably still will. Last I heard, Glenn Williams is going against James Jeffries in a lumberjack match.
Yeah, there's that one.
But they always too have the Thesz Battle Royal, kind of like at our Fan Fest we have the Bruiser Brody Battle Royal. They have the Thesz Battle Royal, so that's kind of cool because you get awarded just like you would with Bruiser Brody handing a trophy. Well, you won Thesz's Battle Royal, um, so that's happening Saturday night, and then after the wrestling show is over and everything calms down. They're going to do beers with the boys. So JBL, Ron Simmons, and other wrestling legends are going to cap the night off starting at 10 p.m. and just have a nice road stories, Q&A session, and beer. So the beer always makes it better, and they're doing it that night. But yeah, so hands down, this weekend is going to be a blast. Uh, Edge is going to be there. He's going to award his trainer is up for I think the trainer award this year. So his trainer that trained Edge, Edge is going to be there to give him that award. But people like Natalie Neidhart is going to be there. Of course, Eric Bischoff is going to be there. Let's see who else is. Let's see if I can blow this picture up. Yeah, so of course, Joe Briscoe, Joe Malenko, Dean Malenko's brother, who I don't know if you remember was a tag team for the longest time. Sergeant Slaughter, Jake Haggard, Tim Hornbaker, Rip McCord, Demolition, Glow Girl Sunny, Bob Roop. Let's see here, David Crockett. That'd be kind of cool to meet him. Medusa, Ron Simmons, of course. James Beard, of course. Les Thatcher, hands down one of the best trainers in wrestling. Greg Gagne. Of course, I'm going to try to talk to Greg Gagne about his wrestling figures to see if we can find anything going on with that line that said that they were going to deliver figures in April, and now it's July and no one has seen or heard from them. So it'll be interesting to see if we can pull some secrets out, not really secrets, but get some information and get it out to the public. Thunderbolt Patterson, Baron Von Raschke, Bill DeMott, which I met last year for the first time. Great guy. Of course, JBL, B. Brian Blair. Oh, Wes Briscoe is Gerald Briscoe's son. He's going to be wrestling, and he's counted as one of the legends. And Comrade Thompson, who everyone knows is like hands down the best wrestling podcaster. He does a podcast with Ric Flair. He does a podcast with JR. He does one with Eric Bischoff. He's got like 10 podcasts under his belt that he does on a weekly basis. I would love for our podcast to get to that level where we can have a legend join us and stay with us every week, because that would be extremely cool. But yeah,
I was just looking up Adam Copeland or Edge's trainer, Ron Hutchins. He's actually trained some pretty good people. Like Christian Cage was with him. I didn't realize. Gail Kim, Trish Stratus. Like he's got some pretty good names under him.
Yeah, and I am going to take a detour on Sunday. So Saturday ends it all, and then everyone departs Sunday morning. But we're in Waterloo, Iowa. So I'm gonna take my family on a detour, and we're gonna go to where they did the movie Field of Dreams. So that baseball field is there. The house from the movie is there. The cornfield, this is the season for the corn. So I am going to do the picture of me fading off into the corn like I'm a ghost. I've been saying I was going to do this every year that I wrestled out in Iowa, and I've never done it. This will be the year that I am going to take that detour. It's a couple hours away off the path that I need to take to go home, but I think it's going to be well worth it.
Dyersville, Iowa.
Yep. So I love that movie. Kevin Costner has done some great baseball movies, and like I said,
you want to take one of our You want to take one of our drones so you can get an overhead shot of you going in the cornfield?
That'd be kind of cool, but I don't know if I want to be responsible for the drones.
We
but
have two.
but definitely a cool weekend. Plus a little bonus, like I said, with that. But man, it's going to be wild. It's going to be a great weekend of wrestling and hanging out with some legends and friends and fans and getting to know the road stories. And I'm down. I'm hoping. Last year, I was a little weary about recording a lot of it, but I noticed that some random guy was recording it. I don't know if he had anything to do with the Hall of Fame but obviously he wasn't, because that's one thing I wish the Hall of Fame would actually post those induction speeches, uh, post those podcasts, and I think even the CACs need to do that. Show the fans that didn't come what they missed, even if you don't show the whole thing. Like, show them some of the funny things that happen or some of the cool things that happen to entice these
They
people to come next year.
just would have posted the Nasty Boys speech that year.
Oh,
That's
my
all they
God.
had to post.
Yeah, hands. Well, JBL last year inducted. God, I just said his name. He was one of the trainers that I talked about. Let me go back through. Let me go. Tom Pritchard inducted Tom Pritchard because evidently he had some hands in helping finish JBL's training. But for the WWE, JBL started in Texas, went to Japan, which JBL told a great story about Bob Orton. When JBL literally started working for Texas, and only in a couple weeks, Japan called Texas and said, "Hey, we need some workers." So JBL went over there. Bob Orton Jr. was already over there wrestling, and him and Bob tagged in a match. And before the match started, JBL talked to Bob and said, "Hey, I'm a little nervous about this match. I heard the Japanese wrestlers are strong style." And Bob told him, "Look, yes, they are. So you better make sure you put everything in there." And JBL said that he did everything he could to hurt the wrestlers, the Japanese wrestlers, to show that he put everything in there. And he impressed Bob. And Bob asked him, "How long you been working?" And JBL goes, "Couple months." And he goes, no, not how long you've been working here in Japan. How long you been working? And JBL goes, "Just a couple months." And Bob goes, "Boy, this is the last place you should be if you just started working, And then he told the story about how they went to an island in Japan, and Bob stopped JBL and said that he would catch up to JBL on a different tourist stop. And JBL goes, "Why can't you come to this island with us for these wrestling dates?" And Bob goes, "I got kicked out of that island and I'm blacklisted. I can't go back." And evidently, Bob got wasted one night at a bar, and Japan is ran by the Japanese mafia. And evidently, Bob got into some problems with the Japanese mafia, and they actually banned him from this island. And said if he ever showed foot on that island again, he would die, that they would kill him. And so, JBL was talking about how bad you got to be to get thrown off of an island. But then he talked about Tom Pritchard going into the Hall of Fame, and he goes, "When you normally say the name Pritchard, you either are proud of one," and he goes, "What do you say? Something about when you talk about the Pritchards, you would take a bullet for one and put a bullet in the other." And he said he would take a bullet for Tom and put a bullet in Bruce. Of course, Bruce Pritchard is still one of the top guys for the WWE right now. But he said he would take a bullet for Tom, but put a bullet in Bruce. And then he talked about how Tom Pritchard, he's got a nickname called Dr. Tom Pritchard. And he goes, "We know how Tom got that name, Doctor. because he was the boys' pharmacy for the longest time. It just started ripping on that, saying that he knew his way around drugs. And so just those stories, uh, you know, if they would just ever make them public, more public than, JBL said it. So, you know, he, if you want to yell at him for saying it or cheer him for saying it, he said it, but it's up to, the people there to, broadcast some of that, tease the people to come in.
So
And
you heard it from Jim. If you want to hear the scandalous or perverted stories, come to Iowa.
come to Iowa, come to the CAC, because the Nasty Boys is what the one that did it at the CAC last year. And hands down, I can't even repeat half the stuff Brian Knobs said.
Well, at one point, Knobs was, "I'm so effing high, I'm so effing drunk."
And
Just
he
yelling.
even said,
Did
he
he say
goes,
that multiple times?
oh, multiple times. But he even, at one point, he goes, you can record this, you can put it on the internet, because I'm so old, I don't even know how to get on the internet. So he didn't care, he didn't care if someone recorded him and posted it, because it wasn't going to affect him anyway.
I say he would say something crazy, and then Sags would get on there and just, yeah, I can't even argue it. It's all true.
It's all true. So these events, man, are crazy. They're cool, fun to be at, and hands down, I recommend people to join these organizations and contribute. Because it's like the silent auction is there to raise money for the building. The dinner, the cost of the dinner, the all access tickets is to help to raise money for the building. So it's all good things. The CAC, the cost of the dinners is to help other wrestlers that are in dire need of, finance help. If they're down on their luck with medical bills or can't afford their mortgage payment, CAC steps in and helps them. So they got to make money somehow. So they sell T-shirts and they sell, the dinner packages.
With the CACs, they started doing for wrestling and for boxers. Now they added actors.
No.
So
originally, and I heard this last year, the guy got on stage and said it. Originally, the CAC was only for actors, because it was before actors had the medical benefits that they get now, and before they get the back end of whatever movies they've been in or TV shows. So originally, it started as an actors thing, and then they brought in boxers, and then they brought in wrestlers, and then the actors kind of went away because they got crazy health benefits. Because, like Terry Funk said, once you're in a movie, you have health insurance for the rest of your life. Because once you sign on and become what is it called, the Actors Guild, once you are officially into that group, you have all the medical benefits. And that's what he said prolonged his life as long as it did. Because of wrestling tore his body apart, and him being in the few movies that he was in, like Roadhouse, that is actually what helped him survive longer, because he was actually able to get those surgeries and get those benefits and everything. But
same thing with Andre the Giant too.
Andre's a little different. Andre didn't want to have any surgeries. It's almost, and Vince McMahon said that it's almost like Andre knew he was going to die young because of his
Gigantism.
Gigantism. And he had the opportunity to have that surgery and he refused it. Big Show had that same thing, but Big Show had the surgery to stop his growing. So it's almost like Andre wanted to live fast, die young, and get that aura around him, and it worked, because to this day we're still talking about Andre the Giant. Chris Owens has that nice little history. I wish he would get a museum going on, or at least put his in a museum. So
yeah, he still owes me a poster. So
right.
he needs to.
But I
I'm not
see
gonna
what I like
forget,
to
Chris.
see.
Not gonna forget.
Yes. So, Bobby, I'll ask you first before I dive in. Did you get anything? Did you pick up anything over the weekend, over the week, or anything?
Just a
No,
buzz.
All
just a
right.
buzz
Just
and
a
a
buzz.
suntan.
Sometimes that's better. So I picked up a couple things, and then I bought a couple things off of some of our friends. So what I picked up, I'm still going to Walmart's, still trying to capture that Chase Muda, which I still haven't found. But in the process, they are putting out some of the older superstar wrestlers that are a couple years old, like, so they're like trying to throw that old inventory out there to see if people buys them. Well, I didn't start collecting the superstars line until a couple months ago. So I am one of those fools that now have to go back and buy those superstars in that line from a couple years ago. So I picked up Mr. Perfect, which hands down is one of the best heels from the 80s, early 90s. Him and Ravish and Rick Rude, I think, are two of the best, besides Roddy Piper, to be heels in WWE or F at the time. So Mr. Perfect came home. And then the other one I picked this one up from eBay. And this is actually a Chase, but I will open this one up because I think the only one I won't open up is if I ever find that Chase Muda. But this figure normally had red pants, and then the boots were blue. And so all they did to make this Chase was change the color scheme. But it's a Hulk Hogan. It's back when you guess say the 70s era of Hulk Hogan. He's got the chest hair that he never has. He's got the side beard thing going, sideburns, and of course those funky glasses. This is more or less like what he looked like in not New Japan, but over there in Japan when he started wrestling.
Well, are you
So
gonna
those,
open that one?
I'm gonna open him because even though it's a Chase, they mass produced this one so much that it really doesn't hold any value. So you can still pick this one up for $20, even though it's a Chase. The regular price for these are $20, so you can still pick them up.
So that's
Sometimes
sort
you
of,
can find them cheaper. I think I got this one for like 13 or $14. So I'm going to open it up so I can display them. But yeah, I think the Muda will be the only one I don't open up because that guy is still holding right around $80 to $120 for that figure, even though if you're lucky enough, you can find them on the store shelves right now. Picked up something to add to my LJNs. This is Bam Bam
bang.
Bigelow. He is a little rough. His head is missing some paint, but he
Well,
is
you should
one
have
of the
held on to
last.
his Harley better.
He is one of the last of the LJN lines, which is the last series. They call him the Black Card series. So he is one of the hardest ones to find. And if you do find him, it's very rare that you find him where the paint looks good. Because the last line, instead of making the body different colors, they made the body one solid color and just painted the rest. So his whole body underneath this paint is all black. So when his skin color paint rubs off, it's black. Now the other LGNs is not like that. When they rub off, like if their boots are blue and they scuff up, you can wash that and get it back to blue. This, if you try to clean this, you're going to make it more black. But this is the main line that I would love to finish. And I'm just going to have to do what I did to this one. I find them when sometimes on eBay you can have a bidding war. Sometimes you'll be the only one who realizes that the owner put the title down or didn't say LJN, so no one searched for it, and then you can find it cheaper. I think I paid right around $40 for this guy. And if you search eBay and under Bam Bam Bigelow, these will probably go for about $100, $125. So great score, great pickup. And that's what I'm going to have to do with this rest of the LJ line, because the rest of them are the expensive ones, the Ultimate Warrior, the Ravishing Rick Rude. So I'm going to have to find them when no one else is looking for them so I can get them at a decent price. I picked this one up from Don Simmons over the weekend. It's certified that the autograph is authentic, but this is a test with an autograph on the cover. Now, back in the day, they didn't realize paint pens weren't a thing. Paint pens are like the best way to have someone autograph something, because the paint pen does smear if you don't let it dry, but if you let it dry, the paint pen will stay on that product. Back then, they did black Sharpie, so black Sharpie fades. So I'm glad that Don is supposed to be giving me the certificate saying that this is authentic, so that way I can keep the certificate with the figure and prove that it's actually tested as autograph. Now, my son asked me, well, how much is this actually worth? And I told him, I said, there's really no value that you can put on it, because Test passed away a few years ago. So, those who were able to get his autograph were able to get it done. But those who want his autograph now have to pay for it, so they have to buy it from someone who has the autograph. So there's really no value you can actually put on something. And then this I've been searching for since it came out, and I've talked about this product, this figure, on this podcast before, because this has always been something that I wanted, always out of my league price wise. This came out in 2019. It was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So you had to go to Comic-Con to actually get this figure. So that automatically increased the price of it, because if you wanted it and couldn't go to San Diego to get it, then you had to pay up for it. So this figure is this box right here. It says Slim Jim, so you can only imagine who it is.
Oh,
Bones up.
It is the Macho Man Slim Jim action figure.
nice.
Yes, this thing, I got it from a friend of ours, Joey Vanetti, a fellow wrestler. He was selling parts of his collection, and he's been hitting me up, because you can find Joey Vanetti on Facebook, and he's still selling. He has a collection of the chairs that you would get at pay-per-views. So the SummerSlam, the WrestleMania chairs, he buys those. Well, he's selling a couple of them, so he's got like 4 or 5 that he's selling. And he offered me a discounted price if I wanted some, because he knew I was a collector. But I really don't know what I would do with a steel chair. But he did tell me that he had a number of wrestling action figures that he was willing to get rid of. As soon as he said this one, I was like, all right, how much are we talking? Because I want this one. And he gave it to me for a great price, nowhere near where you can get it on not Facebook, but eBay. Because on eBay, if you search this guy, you're probably going to spend about $150 to $250. And I did not pay that. He gave me a great deal on it. And I think Joey, thank you for this. Because I spoke to a couple other people, and I think I put it in a video that I talk about everything behind me. And through the weeks, I try to change it up, add something, take something away, because it's the background, and I want people to listen to us talk, but also see the stuff that I collect and see what's new, what's different. This piece right here, I think, will always have a prominent spot in the background, probably out of this box, but that is such a cool, unique item. And it's a lot of people collect the displays at the gas stations of Macho Man that the Slim Jims go into, and those things are freakish expensive. But that guy right there, hands down, if you collect action figures, that is going to be on the top of your list. And I am so glad to knock that one off the bucket, and so glad that it's in my collection. So I am a happy camper. And again, thank you, Joey, for the awesome discount. But that's it. That's all I picked up. Now, again, today's only Tuesday. And I tried to buy some action figures today before the podcast. I just didn't get my hands on them yet. So I'm sure. And plus, with us being in Iowa and being at a fan fest, and I've been to this fan fest the last 3 years, and I know there's a bunch of people that go there that has booths that sell pictures and action figures and everything. So I'll be doing a little shopping too this weekend. So I'm sure I'll have stuff to show everyone on next week's podcast. But that's all I got for now. So you guys got anything else?
I think you covered it.
No,
All right. Yeah,
I
great
was
week
going
in
through
wrestling.
your Bam Bam Bigelow in that condition still worth $126.
I know. It's crazy what the LJNs go for. And you know,
Yeah, the
even,
Bret Hart carded is $25K.
still the Haku, he's part of the last series. That one is still, about 25K, 3,000. There's two.
On at $25,000.
Oh yeah. There's two versions of Hulk Hogan. Because in series 1 they came out with the regular Hulk Hogan. He doesn't have a shirt. He's in his weird pose. But at the end of the series, there's two iconic poses, and he's wearing a white shirt on one, a red shirt on the other, and both of those are hard to get. Fuck, even Vince McMahon's figure is very hard to get. I do have some of the good ones. Miss Elizabeth is hard to find. I've got her. Of course, I got Bam Bam. Coco Beware is hard to get. I got him. So I do got some. I'm just missing the extremely rare ones, being Ultimate Warrior, Haku, Ravishing Rick Rude. I'm probably forgetting one or two as well. But, Tito Santana in the white outfit, Rick Martel in the white outfit. I did pick up the Bumblebees. I showed you the last one that I got a couple weeks ago. So I'm still, and what kind of pisses me off is I had almost all of the LJNs before, and I sold them and then only got half the money that I wanted for them. Was supposed to get all the money, just didn't. And so that still irritates me that I did that because this guy was supposed to be a friend and kind of got fucked over. I did get my revenge, but not the money. So or the figures back. But
I can send a friend to get your money back.
well, I'll tell
I don't
you.
think this guy has the money.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have the money. Probably doesn't have the figures anymore. And I know he's already got the law knocking down his door to try to get him for other things that he does. Stupid shit. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys this week. And like I said, next week should be great. Guys, stick on after we call it, just because I got to ask you guys a couple questions. But all right. So from everyone at the Squared Ring Podcast, I like to say thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and comment. But until next time, we'll see you at the matches. Have a good night.
See you.
Adios.
Right.